My Kindle Unlimited library is always changing, so here's what it looks like today. Hey everyone, my name is April. Welcome back to my channel. Now, I have done one of these What's in My Kindle Unlimited library before, but I've got almost all new books. So I figured, let's just do another one. It won't hurt. I have been absolutely loving my Kindle. I read on it every day. Kindle Unlimited has really changed my reading in a lot of different ways, and I have just been loving it. So I figured let's go over the books that I have in my library and we'll just get into it. A lot of them are going to be fantasy romance because I have just been in that mood lately, but I've got a few others as well. So the first two books I think were still on my Kindle Unlimited library from the last video, but they're still there. I still plan on reading them. It is Princess by Claire Kent, which is her dystopian post-apocalyptic series. And then the other one is Taken to Varaxia by Elizabeth Stevens, which is an alien romance, like an epic alien romance book. It's a series of books and this is the first one. So I still highly want to read those. So they are still on my Kindle Unlimited library. The next one that I really want to get to is Court of Blood and Bindings. And this is by Lisette Marshall. Jess from Honest Fiction, she really loves this book. And so it's like every time she talks about it, it makes me want to read this book. It has fae. Of course, it's one of those that is like, just like SJM, you know, which we'll see, but I love me a good fae romance, so it's in the library. And also I have Claimed by the Horde King, which is the second book in this series by Zoe Draven. I absolutely loved Captive of the Horde King. It's like this whole barbarian alien romance series, but it feels a lot more fantasy than it does sci-fi, and I'm really digging it. There's like a bunch of these barbarian kings, and I'm sure they all have to capture like human brides or something like that, but I will definitely be continuing on in that series, especially since I believe Hannah's read-along that's coming up is going to be reading. This is the group series that we're going to be reading. The next book that I have, this might have been in the last video, but I can't remember. I could always watch that video, but you know, too lazy to do that right now. This one is called The Venue by TJ Payne. And the only reason I downloaded this, I downloaded it in April, is because I had watched the movie The Menu and I went on some Googling and I was like, what book is just like this? Because I absolutely loved that movie. And this is one that came up that was recommended. So I really want to read this. It's not a romance, but it is kind of like a horror type of book, maybe even a thriller. So want to read it. The next two are actually books that are on my TBR for this month. I'm going to get to it right after I finish the book that I'm currently reading, and that they're both by Carissa Broadbent. It is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. This is the second book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. I absolutely loved Serpent and the Wings of Night, one of my top favorites of the year. And then the second one is Slaying the Vampire Lord. This is her Monsters Meet Enemies series anthology with a bunch of different authors. I forget what the series is called. It's like Enemies to Monster Lovers or something like that. I can't remember, but great concept, and I definitely want to get to this one. The next two are actually from a new author that I really want to try out. The author is Cassandra Gannon, and the first book I want to try out from her is called Not Another Vampire Book. The cover, right? And B, the synopsis sounded really cool. Like the first two sentences is, what's worse than editing the stupidest supernatural romance ever written? Getting stuck inside it. So it sounds like somehow she's sucked into the book she's editing and she has to live out the vampire story that's in this book. And that just sounded cool. Like that sounded cool. And I'm kind of like getting more into vampires, so I definitely wanted to try it. The other one that I downloaded from Cassandra Gannon, again, the cover just got me. It killed me, and I know like books like this are really killing me these days because a lot of them aren't good, but I don't care. I'm gonna still read them. This one is called Sexual Tyrannosaurus. Let's just give a moment to this cover. Like perfection. This is actually 2 books in one, so it scared me a little when it said 700 plus pages. I was like, oh hell no, I'm not gonna read that. The first book is called Lust and Fury. And the second one is called Taming the Tyrant Lizard. I'm gonna go into these completely blind. I'm not gonna read what the synopsis is about. I just know T-Rex romance. We'll try it. The next one in my library, also on my TBR this month, is Traitor Witch by Marie Mystery. And this one is a recommendation from Hannah Blackwell, and I really wanted to get to it for all my pirate books that I did last month, but I just didn't have the time. So I'm gonna get to this one. I really am. I promise. It's gonna happen. And the next one is also, I have 2 books by the same author. One is a novella, and then one is the next book in a new series from her. And it is by J. Bree, and the novella is The Scepter. And then the new series is The Crown of Oaths and Curses. And this is J. Bree's new fantasy romance series. And I love fantasy romance so much. I really don't know what these are about either. And again, I just kind of want to go into it blind. Something about a witch maybe, and then she meets a guy. I don't know, okay? I don't know. I hardly read synopses. I really don't read them that often. And when it's by an author that I already love, I just go, okay, I'll try it. The next one in my library is A Hunt So Wicked, and this is by Britt Andrews. This one sounds freaking cool. It says it's like The Bachelor meets Game of Thrones. So there is some trials, and a bunch of like would-be suitors for a king have to like compete against each other to like get the hand of the king or the prince or whatever it is. Sounds like a lot of them will be dying. And I'm here for that. I am here for that. I don't know how steamy this one is, but it is adult, so sounds interesting. And the next one completely caught me off guard through the Stuff Your Kindle Day sale. I saw this one and I was just like, what? What? And y'all are gonna be like, April, that's not gonna be a good book. How do you know? It looks interesting and hilarious. And this is called Savage Galaxy Rescue. A science fiction romance lion men fantasy. It seemed like I got thrown a lot of these Catman romances lately. I just kept coming. You know when you see something and then you start seeing more of that thing and you just like can't stop seeing it? This is one of those, okay? Look at this cover. I mean, they're like a big buff, like humanoid lion men people. It was under 300 pages, okay? And I just immediately clicked download. The next one in my KU library is A Polar Expedition and Other Stimulating Research Opportunities. And this is by Cass O'Shire. So I've been following this author on Instagram and I really like a lot of her like snippets of this book. I think it's really cute. The cover, again, adorable. And I am just like living for this polar bear shifter behind who's trying to hide behind the tree. Like, sir, please, no. Like, apparently this polar bear shifter is like like fascinated by this woman and starts following her. So something happens, and I think this just seemed really interesting. So I, again, clicked download immediately. Oh, the next one is so cool. I haven't read one of these types of books since I was a kid, and I used to really love them. It's like one of those choose your own adventure type stories. This one is called Escape the Island of Eldritch Lust. It's Princess to Pleasure Slave Adventure 2. This is a choose your own adventure love story or a romance story. And I think there's a bit of horror elements to it. It says it's in the erotic horror section. So super steamy, super spicy, and I get to choose what the characters do. Like, yes, please. Yes. Yeah, the author of this is Amanda Clover, and I heard about this book from someone on BookTube, honestly, but I can't remember who. There are people reading it this month. And I was like, I could do that, but now I have forgotten. But again, the cover's cool, and choose your own adventure romance story that is also an erotic horror. Yes. The next one looks so sweet and romantic, and it's a monster romance. This is called Stonehearts, a monster and fae romance, and this is by S.E. Wendell. So what drew me to this one is that both characters are monsters. One is fae with wings and the other one is a monster, and it just looks so cozy and romantic. I really don't know much about what this is about. A small flightless Carice lives on the fringes of her clan. She's pitied by other gargoyles. Oh, she's a gargoyle. And despised by her mother. But that doesn't sound nice. Don't do that. Her lonely heart longs for a mate, one who can see past her malformed wings. I hope she finds it. I'm assuming she does. Trapped for centuries, Gabriel roams the darkness of the Underhill, unable to escape the memories of his failures. These two people already sound like they need love. Yes. We are reading this for sure. The next one is one I recently added to my list, and this is Fear the Flames, and it is by Olivia Rose Darling. I have been seeing this book around a little bit, so I really wanted to know what it's about. It's about dragons. Like, there's dragons in here. A princess with a link to 5 dragons. If this is what I choose, I'm all about it. The little girl in shackles became a knife-wielding woman with a thirst for retaliation. A revenge story. Ooh, I love this. Ooh, there's a snarky commander. Ooh, they have to team up to accomplish a heist. I love a heist. I love a good heist. Okay, this is a long one. It's almost 600 pages, but it sounds more like epic fantasy, and I am here for that. I love all the epic fantasy romances. The next one is another monster romance, and it's one I actually added earlier today. This is called Forged by Magic, and this is by Jenna Wolfhart. I saw this like ad kept getting suggested to me for this book on Instagram, and you know those ads that just keep following you around and you're like, whatever. And then finally you're like, fine, I will download it, okay? But then when I clicked on it, it actually sounded really good. So again, I really like that both of the characters here are some kind of monster or creature. So you have like a half orc. Yeah, she is a half orc and he is a fae. Right, so she's trapped in a tower as a half orc. She'll never know freedom. She's given a deal by an emperor and she has to find somebody with dragon magic. And of course, when her ship is thrown off course, she is marooned on an island and she meets a gruff blacksmith, and sounds like he has some secrets that maybe might help her achieve either her freedom or maybe she might fall in love with him. So this sounded really cute, really fun. I'm interested in it. And then the last one in my Kindle Unlimited library, it's actually kind of a teaser for part of my TBR for next month. Next month it will be participating in the romance readathon. I'm one of the co-captains for Team Hoyden. If you want to join the readathon with us, it's a romance readathon. You can read anything you want, but extra points goes to books that are either a romance, a historical romance, or an LGBTQ plus author, or a Black author, or a Black BIPOC author. So this one kind of hits some of those categories, and it's called The Breath Between Waves. It's by Charlotte Ann Hamilton. I've never read from this author before, but it sounded perfect for this readathon. This is a Titanic romance. This is a sapphic Titanic romance. I mean, give it to me now, okay? I have not read a Titanic romance other than watching the movie Titanic. So this is definitely going to be on the TBR for next month. I can't wait to get to all those books. I'm definitely going back into my historical romance phase, my historical romance era, if you will. And I'm so excited for August. It's gonna be a blast. Those are all the weird little books on my Kindle Unlimited library. Please let me know if you have read any of these. I shuffle these 19 books all the time, and I definitely usually get to these first before anything else. So I have been absolutely loving, again, KU. That's it for me today, and as always, I hope you have a wonderful day.